Now, who says that you can't find like 100 people on the internet that will give you almost $700 a piece for a product you don't even have yet? Well, this guy will show you how he did it. So, I mean, and actually people were telling him that, oh, you can't do that and everything. And then also what people were telling him, oh, if you're going to do that on the internet, you better get a big production company to do your video and a marketing person and all this kind of stuff. He said, no, God, you can also with like an iPhone and a PC and you just put it up. And that's what he did. You know, there's so many things that stop us, you know, from doing things, you know, because we think, oh, somebody expert gave us advice, or we think something is the way it works. But you don't know if something's the way it works until you really try it. And that's what's so neat about trying things on the internet. It doesn't cost anything. So if this guy was a failure, so what? He would learn what not to do next time. But he didn't. And he got like, what was it, almost $80,000, $77,000, you know. To do this and do this project he was in. See, and that's what's neat, I think, about our society now. Anybody could take any full idea that other people think is weird and will never happen, and you can't do that and whatever. God, you just do it because you got nothing to lose and everything to gain. So watch how he did this. Well, John Patterson, Bathurst, Hawaii, and I had to practice that 10 times before. We got to BathurstHawaii.com, and what you've invented and selling, you know, in crowdfunding now, is an item that's put the federal government out of business for telling time. You know, yes. I go down Massachusetts Ave every day, going down to Washington, D.C., and I pass by the government's atomic clock, where the atomic clock is, and you're going to give me one of those things to put on my wrist, aren't you?
I got your atomic watch right here. That's
wow!
It. And that's so right. You don't need the government. We know you don't need the government for something. Right? You don't need the government to tell you what time it is.
You did it, and you went on Kickstarter and raised like almost $80,000 to put this thing together for people. And to me, what's more amazing is that to actually get the watch, there are people putting up $6,000, $6,000.
I know. We've got to make those people happy. I think that was. I think we probably had. I think in the end, the average incentive bid, or whatever you want to call it, was around $900 each person, like the total amount divided by the total people. And that's got to be one of the highest per person incentives on Kickstarter. And then, I'm not familiar. It's $6,000 incentive to just give someone you've never met $6,000 for something you can't even hold in your hand or see, just based on the video and all that. That's a leap of faith, and I have to say, those guys, I appreciate them taking that leap of faith. For sure.
Thank you.
You know, I wouldn't trust them as much as they trust me. But I have not. That money is still in the bank. That's a good thing.
But I mean, you have you've been in the watch business a number of years now, right?
10 years.
10 years, wow. So you have credibility in the subject. But I mean, something like this, I'm sure if you went to experts out there, they'd tell you, oh, you can't sell something and get $6,000 for a person, right? You can't go on a crowdfunding site and do a video for 8-10 minutes or whatever the heck it is, you know. And you did all those things. You can't do this unless you hire some big PR firm to get it out there.
That's right. You don't need PR guys. Right. That's you just need to have authentic feelings, a real story to tell, compelling information, a compelling story, passion for what you do. People can see it. You know, they can tell whether you're faking it or not. I've seen some Kickstarter guys who I can tell are not. They're not legit. Basically, they're not legit.
They're the guys that have to hire the shills to say.
Yeah. I mean, all those videos where it's like shallow focus and the product and the music and all that. I mean, my people I had to tell them a lot more technical stuff because I needed to explain to them what we were really doing, not just a bunch of pretty hyperbole and shots of
and there's
clocks.
No skimpy clad women in this thing either.
No. I remember there was some watch brand had a whole website. It was all about what is the essence of rain. Come on. You know, what is the essence of rain? It's water. Water is the essence of rain.
I see there's one thing you did copy the industry with.
What's that?
10 minutes after 10.
Oh my gosh, yeah. My wife said there's an NPR story about that. Yeah, the
Really?
entire
every watch is 10 after 10.
And you know why that is? It's because if you set the hands like that, you can read the name of the brand.
Oh, I see. So that's the name of the brand. I see.
And Swiss people are very particular that it's always the same. So it's actually 10:09 and 38 seconds is what it should be.
10:09 and 38 seconds.
So, and you have to set your watch, man. When you're one of me, you have to take the battery out right at that moment, you know, to get it stopped. And then put the backpack on.
The atomic watch won't stop.
It goes around a little bit more.
You have to wait another 1,000 years.
We saw basically what I saw was a technology that this chip scale atomic clock. Someone mentioned this to me, who's in the oil and gas and do oceanography work. And I'm like, well, could you use this for a watch, you think? Like, well, I don't know. Maybe it's just this little chip, and you should look into it. And that's how it all got started, was just me realizing that there was a timekeeping chip that I could use to make a real atomic watch. And
but it looks like what you've done on the promotion and everything, and the crowdfunding, is that you used it with no bad downside can happen, because you got, by saying you're going to do this atomic clock, everybody started talking about you because you had, and you're in the watch business. So it was a marketing promotion too that you could never afford, right?
Right, exactly. It was a chance to, initially it was, I initially did this not to do a Kickstarter. I initially did this as a sort of a challenge. Can we do this technologically? And then also a little bit of like a thumb in the nose of the really high-end Swiss brands, like, hey guys, why are you sitting on your ass, basically?
Right. Oh, why haven't you done atomic watch?
Why aren't you doing this? Right. And then a little bit of fear that maybe, you know what, they'll come back and they'll be like, well, we did do this, so screw you. So there was this about this time last year, man. We were pushing. I think we actually put it on YouTube on like September 27th or something like that, of 2013. So we were trying to establish. Nowadays, I don't care what you've invented until you show people it working on YouTube. That's kind of nowadays
that's
the final thing you do, right? You get it working and then you take a video of it. And that's what we did, absolutely.
The Wright brothers, I got in the air, got it on YouTube.
I mean, if you were going to climb Mount Everest, wouldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course, that's what you do. So
a selfie.
Once we got it working, and we got some feedback, then a lot of people said, hey, why don't you do crowdfunding? So it was actually the outside world telling me, look, you probably could crowdfund this. And I'm like, it didn't really, actually, I don't like giving up control.
Yeah.
So, you know, for people who are doing crowdfunding, they have to be willing to say, let go a little bit, you know? You're going to have to for exchange for the crowdfunding money, you're going to have to give away some control. I mean, in general, I learned one thing a long time ago with my business. One of the reasons I've been successful is that you need to, as much as you can, interact with your customers. I mean, it's become so stereotyped, you know, engage the customer and all that kind of crap. But you do, I don't want to engage them by giving them some stupid quiz that they take that we never read. I mean, I engage them by asking them a question on Facebook. Which of these two things do you like better? And then I pick the one that they give me the answer. At some point, I can't choose anymore. They are the customer, so let them choose. So
they're smarter than you about what they want.
That's right. You have
so why should you guess?
That's exactly right. So when I heard everyone saying you should crowdfund this, even though my gut feeling was to say, I said, okay, well let's throw it out there and see how it goes. And,
Nothing to lose. And you gained almost $80,000 in doing that, and all this publicity and really in your industry now. Now you're a hot shot in the industry because hey, that's the guy who did this.
Yeah, that's true. That is really true. That is when I go around in Switzerland to the Basel World Fair. this last year, it was amazing how many people knew who I was.
See?
I couldn't.
That's why to me, crowdfunding, you got nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Right, exactly. The worst thing that can happen is you wake up and the thing is closed and you didn't make any money and you learned how to make a video.
Right. But you now have your ukulele on Kickstarter.
That's right.
Sound. I mean, that's a beautiful little. And on your website, bathyhawaii.com. I mean, the ukulele and the images, are they all your photographs too?
No, this is, no, well, some of them are and some of them aren't. Most of those photographs are shot by one of the most successful photographers in the United States who asked me, who had one of my watches and said, I'll tell you the story and you can edit this out if you want. He said, if you'll pay for me to come to Hawaii so I can have sex with my wife, and put us up, I'll shoot a campaign for you while I'm there.
Wow!
And his wife is also sometimes his assistant. We were out shooting at this beach, and we picked a day where they were doing like a helicopter drop in the ocean. And I said, we shot all these pictures, and I asked his wife, how much does your husband usually charge to do this? And she's like, about $40,000 a day. So
here, take my house, have sex all you want.
Yeah, I paid a few thousand to fly them out here and put them up. I got them for 5 days.
Wow. Yeah.
And so,
but your video you did by yourself, right?
The video I did by myself, and I did a lot of the pictures, and I did my own catalog by myself, and I learned how to do all the video editing for, it's all just done in Mac and just shot with
we all can do it.
Everybody has the tools they need to do this. If you have an iPhone and a Macintosh.
Anybody can do it. And give it a try. And to see your work and to see your watch, and if you want one, maybe get in line because you may be coming out with more, right?
Right.
So Bathy's Hawaii, Bathys.
Bathys.
Right, Bathys. Hawaii, see, I'll never get it right. Bathys, Hawaii, and Hawaii, maybe you know how to spell, I don't, HAWAII.com, okay?
That's it.
Go there, see your current watches, and take a look at that atomic watch. Yeah, that's the current one.
Yeah, that's my regular one. Here's the atomic
Here's
watch.
the atomic. Right, wow! The government eat your heart out. You're out of business.
Right, 1 second in 1,000 years. Right. That's how accurate it is.
Thank you so much, Sean. Pleasure
Aloha,
to meet
Matthew.
you.
Nice
Aloha.
to talk. Cheers.